so I'm going to have to look at it.
We're going to go ahead and start the meeting. Roll call. We have AC Cuellar, Precinct 1, myself, Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2, and Joseph Palacios, Precinct 4. The judge notified us that he was feeling a little bit ill, so hope he gets better soon. We can start with a prayer, Owen?
Yes, sir, if I may. Let us pray. Father God, we give you thanks for another day that you've given us. We just continue to pray for the world, Lord. Continue to pray for the lost in Paris, Lord. Continue to be with the people as they grieve through this loss, and also continue to be with the Jaime Salazar's family, Lord, as his mom passed on this Sunday, Lord. A special prayer for that family. We know that you're in control of everything, Lord, and continue to guide us. You are the Prince of Peace, Lord. Bring that peace upon us. Continue to guide this elected board, Lord, as they use wisdom to make decisions, Lord, that affect us all. Continue to be with myself and provide me wisdom as well in my position, Lord, and all the workers for the county as well, Lord, that may we continue to work as we're working for you. I ask this on your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you, Raul. Open forum, nobody signed up. And we'll move on to the consent agenda. Any questions or comments?
Not that I'm aware of, Commissioner. I don't think we have any issues on the consent agenda.
Move for.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go on to number 5, Owen.
Discussion on the El County Drainage District Number 1 drainage projects, maintenance and operations. We're just continuing with our project. We are going to have a Drainage Advisory Board committee meeting on the 9th, and it'll be here in this room. So I encourage any elected official or a staff member to attend, and just we're going to be briefing on the current projects that we have ongoing 2012, and also touch on the 2007 bond. Make just kind of presentation overall, what we're doing, where we're going, and what kind of impacts current projects have had and future projects will have on our drainage for our area. So just invite everyone to have an opportunity to attend, or send someone to attend on their behalf. So that's all I have for today, Commissioner.
You know, well, just for the record, Commissioner Joe Flores, Precinct 3, just showed up.
Yes.
And number 6.
We'll go on to number 6. Today there'll be no action on this one, Commissioner. There'll be a move back to December 1st meeting. They're still doing the auditing procedures and going through the impartial audit review. So I'll bring it back on December 1st meeting, sir. No action on 6.
Thank you.
If I may, number 7.
Yes, sir.
Discussion, consideration, approval of Drainage District Number 1 investment policy. I believe the Treasurer's Office is going to make a presentation on that.
Good morning.
Morning.
Feroz Maripa with the Hidalgo County Treasurer's Office. The investment policy, it's brought every year for review and approval. There's been no change since last year's, which was brought in September 2014. At this time, we just want to approve it to...
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, item B is discussion, consideration, approval of authorized broker-dealer list. This, like the investment policy, needs to be brought every year, and
Move
that's
for
what we're...
approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If I may, item A, 8A, presentation of scoring grid firms in connection with the request for proposals for RFPQ number 15-011-1104, Financial Advisory Service for Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. Firm name Estrada Hinojosa and Company, Inc., a score 97. FFC Capital Advisors, a score 95. Would you like to rank them as
Move
stated?
for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, requesting authority for the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 to proceed to negotiate a letter of engagement agreement with the number 1 ranked firm of Estrada Hinojosa and Company, Inc. for the provision of financial advisory services.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 9 would be requesting approval to advertise for RFQ number ACDD 1-15-012-12-11, Independent Financial Audit Services.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Excuse me. Item 10, requesting approval to accept proposal from Leonel Garza Jr. and Associates as it relates to professional appraisal services required for A0-1263, I apologize, a .1263 tract of land out of Lot 3, Block 2, Steel Pershing Subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas. Lake James Subdivision, approved for negotiations by the board on November 10, 2015.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 11, discussion and action on tax resale bids received on the properties, and I believe there's a presentation being made for that.
Good morning, gentlemen. Gus Martinez,
Good morning.
Commissioner Lamberger. We did have a resale November 3rd. We got 78 properties that we put up for sale. We got bids on 70 of them. We bring them to you for your approval, or your maybe recommend to try and resell them. But if they are approved, they will generate for the Drainage District a little over $17,000, and it'll put about $2 million back in the tax roll.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any executive session, Raul?
Before
Was
we-
that item B
sorry.
as well?
I think we
Discussion-
probably need a separate action item for item B.
Okay.
Item B, discussion action on resolution of tax resale bid properties.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
No, sir, I do not have anything for the executive session today.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Ready?
131, so we're good.
We're good.
We'll go ahead and move on to our Commissioner Court meeting. Roll call, AC Coyot, Precinct 1, here. Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2, here. Joe Flores, Precinct 3 is here. And Joseph Palacios, Precinct 4 is here. Maybe we can have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what is best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We have the consent agenda. Any questions or comments? Concerns?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Do we have any elected officials? We'll go to number 5, open forum. Valde?
Thank you, Commissioner. Before we start the open forum, as stated in the past, there is a 3-minute time limit, and I'm going to ask the audience to respect the speaker at the podium. But before we get started, Commissioners, and for those in the audience that have signed up, I have 7 individuals that have signed up with the topic of boot camp. And so I don't know if all 7 are a group. Okay, well, then under the rules, that's 3 minutes. That would be 21 minutes if all took their time. But given that there is a large number for the same topic, I'm going to ask that we limit it to no more than 15 minutes discussion on that one topic. I don't know if it's coincidental, but apparently there's an issue there that you have 7 individuals that have signed up for the very same topic. So I will start off with the first one, Verdell Anderson.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today. I'm speaking in regard to the problem we're having in our area with roadside garbage, and that's Precinct 3, by the way. Roadside garbage and also dead animals. I spoke to a county employee, a very nice elderly man who I explained that there was this dead, stinking carcass out there, and he did take care of that. But the rest of the garbage was not taken care of. Then we took another walk the next day, and there's another dead animal up the area, relatively new, still bloated. Mingo's done a good job helping us, but unfortunately he just is not able now. And Victor Gallardo, he has contacted them 3 times to come and take care of the garbage in the area and to take care of the dead animals, and that just has not happened. This has been 2 weeks. So I called the director of operations, Mr. Ramirez, last evening around 4:30, and did not receive a call. I think 2 weeks is a little bit too long to wait to have the garbage picked up, too long to have the holes in the roads taken care of. We've had to replace a tie rod in our car because we hit one of those roads, and it was 45 miles an hour. It's expensive when you have a Prius to have to be able to do that. So I think that you need to do something to take care of the garbage. There's a sign up there that says there's a $2,000 fine. Well, you've got your garbage practically right on top of the sign. Also, the way you're fixing your roads, I'm not a construction worker or anything, so I don't know that well, but my husband worked state of Wisconsin in the traffic department, and they don't use hot tar when they seal those holes. So they seal the holes, and a week later they're already starting to open up again. The hot tar is a bonding agent, and it keeps that from happening. So when you have that, you probably need to think about something a little different. Also, the response is poor. So you need to find out why you're having such a poor response. 2 weeks to have holes done. And these are holes that were just done not too long ago. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
That's 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Commissioner, I guess I can talk to you about it. Over in our precinct, we take care. Our response is pretty quick. Unless it's some private property, we can't go and get the trash. And I've talked to people about it, my employees, about whenever there's a pothole, they need to brush out the dirt, make it a square pot, and then put the coal mix, and then roll it over and compact it. But I mean, I can't help people, especially with the DA. It's, you know how it is. The DA, or even, I have to have a special permit from the health department to go into private property. But I'll take care of her concern. I'll get Mingo to talk to her in a while.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next one.
We have Mr. Barnes and Mrs. Barnes.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jim Barnes. I live in Mission. I'm one of the owls. What happens to a juvenile that doesn't have a strong family unit and makes some poor life choices? If he is a nonviolent, at-risk individual between the ages of 13 and 17 years old, a state district judge may assign him to the Hidalgo County Boot Camp in Weslaco. It's called the Judge Mario E. Ramirez Jr. Juvenile Justice Center Transitional Program. While in the military-style discipline environment, the cadet is helped with addiction problems and mental health issues. He attends classes continuing his education. Then there's a 3-month transition program to address his reintegration into mainstream society. I had the opportunity to attend the graduation ceremony of the latest class of these transitioning youths on Friday, November 13th. Some of their life stories are horrific. One young man was sent to the program, and his best friend was killed soon after. he would have probably been with his friend and may have also lost his life. If not, in a few years he would be in district court receiving a prison sentence for a more serious crime. This program is vital to young men to stabilize their lives and to learn to make better life choices. Hidalgo County must provide the funds needed and prevent later issues in adult courts and prison sentences. It is cost effective and saves young men to become productive members of our society. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Barnes, before you start, again, I'm going to ask the audience to please respect the people at the podium while they're speaking. No, just the audience, please. Thank you. Mrs. Barnes.
My name's Beth Barnes, and I'm from Mission, Texas, in Precinct 3. Have any of you ever been to the Hidalgo County Boot Camp in Weslaco? If not, I strongly recommend it. The boot camp is one of the few programs in our county that works. These young men really work hard. I'd like to make a challenge to you. Take time out of your busy day and go visit the boot camp in Weslaco and talk to the staff. It will be a big eye-opener to you. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Ms. Fern McClary.
As an owl, over the years, we have gone and checked on property that the county owns, and we try to find out why you don't sell them and get rid of it and put them back on the books. And we found the boot camp years ago. And the taxpayers' money, that's the only one that I could find that we had looked through that the county did something good. It was a worthwhile program. These young men go there. They're going to be either dead or they're going to be in the penitentiary. And we would like the commissioners to pay attention.
I'm listening.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those two. I'm talking to the commissioners. Y'all talk about respect for us to respect y'all. We would like y'all to respect us. We're asking y'all because you're the ones that we're talking to today. The judge is not here, but each one of you, AC came to the last graduation. How many of you have been to the boot camp?
I've been a speaker at a boot camp.
All right. Have you been through it?
Oh, yeah. No, I've never been there.
And
I've been the guest speaker.
all right. Well,
but
this
I gotta clear
okay.
This
This is what we want. We want each of you to go. We spend money on liaisons. We hire people in all departments and give them raises. How about taking care of the young man that's got one more chance? There was a young man that was there the other day. They lined him up and they asked their parents to stand up, and the boys talked to their parents. There was one that broke your heart. There was no one there for him, not one person. And then y'all are going to slap and turn him around because y'all are going to cut the program or whatever. Find some other places that you can cut. Not the boot camp. It's the one thing that we have found as the Owls that the county does right. And we're asking for the parents, and we're asking that you will help look at these children one more time. They're in gangs. They've got all kinds of tattoos and things on them, but they got one more chance. So we're asking the county, please, go down there. They have bunk beds and this is a very frugal program. These men have gone and bought beds at $1 from the military. The blankets, I think, were $1. I mean, they're very, very tight on the money as spending it. And so we're asking you not to cut this program, but go down there, visit, go some of the rooms and see what it is. Giving the children one more chance. And if y'all can't do that, then shame on you. Because like I say, y'all hire and you spend money here, you waste money there, and yes, you do waste money. And it's taxpayers' money. And this is one good program. So we're asking y'all, and we're hoping that you will listen to the parents that have come here today to tell you a little bit about their children, that this program may have saved their lives. And we know that one did, because one was there that if he would have been with his friend instead of in the boot camp where the courts put him, he would be dead today. So the program does save lives. So we're asking y'all, please, take care of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Our next presenter is Ms. Opal Billman.
Good morning. My name is Opal Billman. Donald Trump said, if he is elected president, he will build a wall between the United States and Mexico will pay for the wall. Between North John H. Sherry and South John H. Sherry, I want a border wall built on the boundary line. This wall is for the protection of occupants of a recently built apartment complex, and I want the developers who created this potentially dangerous public hazard to pay for a safety wall. Joe and I dredged a lake and fenced a lake on our private debt-free community property. Our land, which contains an existing body of open water, was bordered by undeveloped land, which we do not own. The owners of the undeveloped land had many options to consider for the safe development of their land. Their recent development is a high-density apartment complex and tarnishment of the boundary line to take over land and lake property that belong to us. A fence on the boundary line between the two parcels of land was removed, and on the south side of our lake, a strip of our privately owned land was paved, went only to our lake, was barricaded, and named Salina Street. Telephone lines and poles with street lights have been installed on our private land along the south edge of our private lake. We were not consulted and do not agree with this takeover of our privately owned land for their street. We own the land and we own the lake. A public street that goes only to their business right on the edge of our lake on land that we own is transparent theft and is not going to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Mr. Richard Garza.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Richard Garza. I'm the superintendent for the Juvenile Boot Camp, and I'd like to express my extreme gratitude for the owls coming down, for Commissioner Cuellar being in attendance with us last week. And I'd like to encourage all of you to come down again and see the boot camp for yourselves and look at what we do with these gentlemen. We do, I think, a tremendous job, and I can't give enough credit to the staff that we have. Again, please come down and visit with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Elvira Garcia.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Elvira García y yo vengo a darles las gracias a los comisionados y todas aquellas personas que defienden a nuestros niños. El Boot Camp es un excelente programa, y digo excelente programa porque con mi hijo anduve en muchos programas que nunca salí de eso, nunca salimos de lo mismo. Y Boot Camp me ayudó, agarró a mi hijo, lo tuvo por un año, lo lavó, le enseñó cómo caminar por la vida, qué son las cosas que necesitamos para vivir, qué son las cosas que el niño necesita para vivir. No sé, pero creo que el programa de Boot Camp le quieren quitar fondos. Hay otros partes, lugares donde el dinero sí se está tirando, donde pagan a gente que está ahí y no está haciendo bien su trabajo. Y Boot Camp hace muy bien su trabajo, excelentemente, porque lo he visto reflejado en mi hijo. Mi hijo estaba en las calles tirando su vida a la basura. Y hoy mi hijo es un niño renovado y nuevo y limpio. Y Dios nos dio nuestra bandera para pelear por nuestros niños. Y nos dio nuestra espada para pelear por nuestros niños. Porque nuestros niños son los que merecen que nosotros hablemos por ellos y que demos la pelea por ellos. Porque no hay nada mejor y no hay nada más bonito que los niños. Porque ellos son inocentes. Ellos no saben. Las drogas los traen locos. Y en la calle hay mucha necesidad y Boot Camp es un programa que necesitaría expandirse y hacerse más grande y más fuerte. Porque si no ponen su dinero en Boot Camp, ¿dónde lo van a meter? ¿Lo van a meter? ¿Le van a poner un pedazo de techo a las cárceles? ¿O un pedazo de techo a la juvenil, a la Evans, para que quepan más niños? Que más adelante son niños que no se restauran, que se acostumbran a una manera de vivir, pero Boot Camp les enseña a vivir, les da vida nueva. Y yo estoy muy feliz por ese programa, porque ese programa quitó a mi hijo de las calles y me restauró mi vida a mí y le restauró la vida a mi hijo. Y yo les quiero dar muchas gracias. Gracias.
A usted.
Morning. First of all, I want to thank all commissioners, commanders, Judge ain't here, and the Lord. I was a parent that almost lost my kid. Thanks to the program, my kid's alive. He lost 3 friends while he was during the program. He survived 2 overdoses. I went through a real bad depression, and I wanted to give up as a parent. But the Lord guided me through the right path, through the right people, and ended up in boot camp in Weslaco. And for me as a parent, I commend you all. And if I got to be here day and night to speak for that program, I'm gonna be here as a parent. I never thought I was going to be here talking in front of important people, but I'm doing it for my son. And as you can see, I work for a good company. It's well known here. I'm a supervisor there. And I'm making time to come here. So I believe we all can make time also. Friday, I told my son, there's 2 things in life, son, that you made me happy. First thing, when you gave birth, when your mom gave birth to you, I was the happiest parent. Second was today, son, when I saw you graduate from boot camp. He went in with 8.5 credits, came out full senior, 24 credits, got awarded, and got awarded also for passing all his STAR exams. So me as a parent, I commend you all, and I beg you all, if we could keep providing funds for this company. My company, try to help them out also. I believe with a little bit of help from everybody, you know, we can make this happen. We could extend these schools valley-wide, because Joe now, we have a major problem right now. That kid, that young lady said earlier, his parents weren't there. I went out the pocket, took him out to eat myself also, bought him a little bit of school clothes, you know, have a little bit of sympathy on us parents that are going through this right now. Because we all got kids. Today, it's us. Tomorrow, it might be somebody else. And if it's somebody else, I'm here to help you out, you know, and anything I can help you out. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. And commissioners, for the record, he is on here. It's Sam Garcia, so I just skipped that thing. So we'll go to our next speaker, Mr. Lupe Chavez.
Good morning, Commissioners. It's a beautiful renovation you've done here. The commission meetings used to be here. I used to have a wall of all the county commissioners from the history of Hidalgo County here. I used to love coming to this building. There also used to be a courthouse. That Judge number 7 was here. And outside this courthouse were some photos of the men and women from Hidalgo County who were killed in action over the last, years on the War on Terror. And when it comes to flags and military photos, the Army has its own protocol. And, I think that, there's no official procedures that you have written down regarding these photos. But I think that, once you place a photo of a killed serviceman or woman, that honor is bestowed at that place. So, there was a wall here with those photos, and I did have the pleasure of speaking with Commissioner Palacios before the meeting, and, asking about that. And I was informed that they were moved to another location. But hopefully, at least, for me, maybe we can have these photos here again, and maybe even the old photos of the county judges, maybe those were removed also. But, I just think that when there's a history somewhere, that it should stay there. But, I understand that decisions are made, and so, it happens. But, I just want to bring that to your attention. And sitting here listening to these families, unfortunately, government spending, there's good spending, there's bad spending, and then unfortunately there's waste, and we can get into the specifics as to why that happens. But looking at this budget, people are looking for money. I see the district attorney's office has some people here. A person making $63,000, they're going to come before you. That's roughly more than $5,000 a month. You take off taxes, high $4,000s a month, and they're getting a car allowance of $900. Now, if you're a member of the public and you have bad credit, you're going to pay $900 on your car, But somebody who's making a good salary shouldn't need a full car allowance of $900. And also, we have another person here for $58,000 on this agenda. So that's roughly also $5,000. You take off taxes, they're making $4,000, that much a month, and they're also getting a $900 car allowance. So to me, having gone through the judicial system, unfortunately. Maybe we should tie some of these incentives. Hey, push the courts to get people out of the system. You go to the county courthouse. Sometimes the judges don't start till 9, 9:30, 10, and then they're not there on Fridays. So we see a building. We want a new courthouse. The judges are all saying, hey, we need a new courthouse. We don't have space. But hey, as the people, we want them accountable as well, and say, hey, you know what? Be in court from 8 to 5 every day. Let's keep that machine turning, because that's our money. That's the electricity. So, I know that people are here asking for you to, find money for the boot camp, which is a good program. And look at your budget.
Thank you.
On the boot camp, I want to congratulate the staff there, the commander and Richard. Thank you. I was really impressed. It's a great program, and I'll do anything to keep it going and hopefully grow it. So congratulations again, and it's very touching. And I welcome everybody to come by on a graduation and see what it's about. Oh, it's great.
Our next speaker, and I apologize if I don't get this right, I'm having a bit of a problem reading it. Maria Palacios? Mari? Okay. And our last speaker then is Mr. Galvan. Yeah, we have Mr. Galvan for the boot camp, and what I believe to be Palacios for boot camp. Okay, thank you.
I'd just like to say, we've been working extensively. We had a huge increase in juvenile housing, and so we're looking at different ways of trying to control those costs. But especially, we want to use our boot camp here in this area, because sending our kids, unfortunately, out of town has really cost the county a lot of money. So we're trying to do everything that we can for our kids. We understand the situation that they're in, with all the different things that they face, from synthetic marijuana to drugs in general, and the gangs and everything that they're involved in. And I appreciate the people going out there and seeing what our staff is doing at the boot camp, and I appreciate our staff, and we need to continue to do everything that we can for our kids. And I personally, and I know a lot of these commissioners, get involved with kids at an early age when it comes to programs like the Boys and Girls Club or supporting our local schools. If we could target the problem early, we can try to eliminate some of these problems later on. But I think that this commission, and along with the judge, is fully in support of the boot camp and everything that we can do for our kids. And we'll continue to work hard for them to try to, keep them out of these situations as much as possible, and support them when they're in the situation. Because if anybody believes in a second chance, this commission and this judge and myself, and we'll continue to support them.
If I can add to the same sentiments, I was a speaker about 3 years ago at the boot camp, and very, very impressed with the program. I know Richard Garza, who we went to school together back in our earlier years, saw kids, at-risk kids, and I believe that's the reason why he's doing what he's doing with the boot camp. So I want to commend him and all the staff at the boot camp on all their efforts. Unfortunately, I wasn't one who attended a boot camp. I attended a completely different type of boot camp in the United States Army. And whether boot camp is a juvenile or boot camp in your earlier years, it molds you, it changes you, and it really plants a seed in your heart. So I, as well as other commissioners and the judge, are committed to do whatever we got to do to keep that program growing.
Another thing I want to add is that gentleman that came up a while ago from who works for CAPA. It really touched me because his son has, like he says, it's made a difference. And as far as this commission is, I'm concerned is that we should try to fund as much as we can for this boot camp.
Yep.
That's the way I see about it.
And Sergio, I appreciate, Sergio sent me an email yesterday because he's been working extensively. Besides your normal duties, you've been working real hard on this project, and look forward to reviewing that email and seeing what we could do, Sergio. We can move on to 6A. Update by the Hidalgo County Regional Mobility Authority. Chairman.
Good morning, Commissioners. We're going to go ahead and turn it over to Chairman Sweden and Pilar Rodriguez from the RMA. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Sweden. You should have a handout anyway. You should. I think what everybody's...
Randy, can we ask you to speak to the microphone so we can record it?
Is that what they're going to build?
Gentlemen, go to the picture of the map. It's like page 4. The yellow down in the bottom is 365 and the intersection with military. All of you know that we got some funding courtesy of our MPO. We will turn dirt in January. We will have a groundbreaking for each one of you to attend. That is the first 16 miles, 365, and the overpass over military. It is the beginning of a 120-mile loop around Hidalgo County. The IBTC, which connects the FAR Bridge, is the purple part next to that. You've got the yellow, which is 365, and then IBTC follows a year after that. We go tomorrow to Austin. Thursday is TxDOT meeting for our update on the $12 million. In December, we will get approval on our SIB loan, which is the rest of the 365 funding. Can't tell you how excited we are about getting this thing and turning dirt on the first mile. If you've got any questions, I can talk forever and get really excited about how much fun this is going to be for all of us in Hidalgo County. Just know that we also have this year in January, Commissioner Flores, we voted on the funding for the La Jolla Relief Route. That's underway. Massive $80 million task also going on. We're working with TxDOT also on 68 going around. It was postponed for about a year. I can just tell you that the groundbreaking in January for all of you involved, this is yours. You appointed these commissioners. You voted us in place. It's going to be the first start the first start of the biggest economic development project in Hidalgo County since the interchange. And then we got to talk about that. That's our next project, somewhere down the road. I don't want to continue going on and on and on because I can, and the project is so emotional. But just know that when you created this, it's taken us 8 years to get our feet on the ground and get all of TxDOT behind us. And they haven't made it real easy, I'll be honest with you. And I've said that before the commission up there. But it's been the right way to do it. So we're there. Thursday we'll get one step. A month from now with TxDOT meeting we'll get the next step. And then January, just so that all of y'all know, we're coordinating with the governor's office, the lieutenant governor's office, the speaker, and your commission to make sure we've got a date and time for this groundbreaking. Epic event, folks. Any questions at all that you've got, because we are rolling fast.
Randy, the only question I got, I remember when I first came in back in 2001, County Judge Pulido was here, and we talked about the loop. So it's been going on for about 15 years, and we finally became a reality here maybe 8, 9 years ago to start, getting the appointments and everything. But I wanted to tell you that I went from Monday, I think it was about 5, 6 o'clock. I left Mission. I went to La Jolla. It took me about an hour to get there. I've been bumper to bumper all the way to La Jolla, so that relief route would make a lot of difference there.
Commissioner, we voted that in on the MPO last January. The issue right now before TxDOT is just right-of-way routing, the EA, right? We've still got that working on, but it is with the project, the district engineer, Toribio Garza. I promise you, they're going as fast as we possibly can on that.
No, I understand, and doing a good job.
But it is, wow, that's an $80 million project over there for phenomenal. So.
Very much needed. I was over there Saturday, went to Rio Grande City. Man, it's horrible. Yeah. Traffic is bad. So
yeah,
if by the time we get to it, it's going to be bumper to bumper.
Well, we're 20 years behind time on getting this loop made. So kudos to you guys for getting it going. I just wish we could have thought about it a few years ago. But our grandfathers and fathers and the rest of our families who invented the expressway, Highway 83, which is now I-2, and then pushed that out to I-69. We're going to be able to look back and say, we helped some transportation. And just so that y'all understand, Hidalgo County in 2015 got $15 million for our MPO. Proposition 1 that we voted on in 2014 doubled that. Proposition 1 allows Hidalgo County MPO to spend $32 million. 2 weeks ago, we passed Proposition 7. We're going to go in the MPO from $30 million to $60 million in transportation funds. Everybody needs to hitch up your boots and get ready, because we need to go to Austin and say, we've got these projects ready to go. It is and this is statewide. This is not just Hidalgo County. Every MPO in the state, all of us, have just gotten a huge shot in the arm for transportation. So we're rolling. Questions? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Keep it up.
(6B), Valde.
Morning, Commissioners. Michael
Michael,
County Judge's Office. 6B, discussion and possible action on the order approving memorandum of understanding among the County of Hidalgo, City of Edinburg, City of McAllen, City of Mission, and the City of FAR and the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley regarding development of and funding for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley School of Medicine and the related Chapter 381 Economic Development Agreement by and among Hidalgo County, Texas, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and the University of Texas System.
You need action on that?
Yeah, as you may recall, we entered into an MOU in the 381 back in 2014 for our contributions to the medical school. It was with the UT system at the time. Since then, UTRGV has been created, so the parties involved decided it was best to amend it to include the University of Texas RGV. Bobby had come to court prior with some modifications, so the documents before you today reflect the final changes needed. Does not change nor affect the county's commitment to the contributions for the medical school. We also have Veronica Gonzalez from UTRGV, if anybody has any questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
No questions.
I just had a question. I know me personally, I can't speak for the rest of the commission, but I'm pretty sure they're on board. I think from the county's perspective, we're pretty much on board. But Veronica, I've heard concerns from some other cities that they may not be contributing. Or what happens in that situation if somebody doesn't go along with their commitment or their prior commitment?
At this time, the only city that we know has opted out of the MOU is the city of Mission, and it's on the minutes of one of their meetings that they do not want to support the MOU. I'm not sure that that translates that they would not support the medical school in some capacity, but they do not want to sign off on an MOU. What it means, every dollar is going to count because the accreditors look closely at the local support as well, and because of last session, we were $10 million short of what we hope to be able to get in appropriation. So every dollar does count, but it's not a binding contract, so they have the option of doing so.
But just give me, if, for instance, let's say McAllen were to put their $2 million, let's say they were to put $1 million, and everybody else commits to their part, and somebody such as the state comes in and fills the gap, does that basically take care of their responsibility? Does that trickle down to the other parties that are contributing, or how would that work?
I'm not sure I can answer that, but I can say that it is critical that we have every dollar possible. I think that there's been discussions about the services that are being provided and whether or not those who opt out would actually receive some of the services that are being provided within that city. And I think, no one wants to deprive someone of any medical services. But these funds, especially the county's funds, are being used to provide a lot of indigent care that falls on the shoulders of the county. And the medical school is taking some of that burden off with these funds. The city's is to support the first 2 years of the medical school program. And the medical school program is only going to be as strong as we have the right pieces in place to make sure that it succeeds. So is it going to make a difference? Yes, it will make a difference. Will it keep us from doing the work that we're doing? No. We will continue to do it.
Well, I just want to know. I fully support it. I just wanted to ask some of those questions because I've heard some gossip or rumors or whatever from other entities, but
yes,
I guess we can.
I wanted to bring up to you because I think this is important to the county. I was very moved by what I was hearing about the boot camp this morning. I think it's a great project and it's changed the lives of many young youth. That's one of the things that the medical school is trying to do as well. And one of the tools we have is the John Austin Pena Clinic that's located in Edinburgh. At that clinic, we're doing things like providing GED classes, career counseling, anger management, parenting classes. All of those are part of turning around the lives of some of these youth. Most of them are being referred from the Juvenile Justice Department. So that's another service that's being provided. When you think of medical, you think of tests that are being done on somebody to see if they have diabetes and others, which we also do. But we also make sure that when it comes to like outpatient detoxification, that the medical school is involved in that as well. So we thank the county for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You need action?
Move to approve. I think so. Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
7, District Courts.
Commissioners, there's a request from the 449th District Court. They're requesting approval to reimburse Judge Contreras in the amount of $195. This is for payment to the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judge Membership Dues. This would be done with the authority for the county treasurer to issue check. After review, audit and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Number 8, District Attorney's Office.
We have Ms. Rosie in the audience.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rosie Cantu from the District Attorney's Office. Number 8, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the County Auditor for FY 2015 Hidalgo County Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant.
Move to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 2, approval to appropriate the FY 2015 Hidalgo County Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Number 3, approval of the following personnel actions. Slot number G1, position Advocate 1 at $33,000.
Move for approval.
I'm sorry.
Genaro Golidon.
G2, Assistant District Attorney 3 position at $63,100 plus a $900 auto allowance.
Move for approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 4, approval to appropriate funds in the amount of $900 for auto allowance from Fund 1223.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 5, approval of the salary schedule in accordance with Commissioners Court approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Letter B, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the FY 2016-2017 Victim Assistance Program.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Approval to appropriate the FY 2016-2017 Victim Assistance Program grant funds.
Move for approval.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Approval to appropriate funds from HB 65, Chapter 59.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Approval of the following personnel actions. Approval to create slot G1, Advocate 1 at $33,000. Approval to create G2, Advocate 1 at $33,000. And then G3, Assistant District Attorney 2 at $58,100 plus a $900 auto stipend.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And number 5, approval of the salary schedule in accordance with Commissioners Court approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. County Treasurer.
Good morning. Fernando Samarripa, Chief Deputy on behalf of County Treasurer Norma Garcia. Item 1, discussion, consideration, and approval of Hidalgo County investment policy in accordance with Chapter 2256.003E of the Texas Government Code.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2, discussion, consideration, and approval of Multibank Securities, Inc. resolution. This resolution is what they require for the county to conduct business with them, and they need it from the governing body, which is Commissioners Court.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the last item, number 3, discussion, consideration, and approval of the authorized broker-dealer list in accordance with Chapter 2256.025 of the Texas Government Code.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
10, Tax Office.
Good morning, Commissioners. Santos Castilleja, Motor Vehicle Manager. I'm here with Guillermo Palacios, our Motor Vehicle Accountant and Internal Auditor. Discussion, consideration, and approval to execute an interlocal agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of FAR for implementation of scofflaw procedures and processes for vehicle registration denial services.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Wonderful, thank you. And item B is a presentation, discussion, consideration, and acceptance and approval of a dealer agreement between Hidalgo County and the Helleberg Group. This is Jaguar San Juan, Land Rover San Juan, Acura of the Rio Grande Valley, Audi of San Juan, Mercedes-Benz of San Juan, and Smart Center of San Juan. Dealer desires to act as an agent of the tax assessor collector in the issuance of motor vehicle license stickers and license plates. Helleberg agrees to comply with the requirements of the web dealer system of the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sheriff's Office.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Richard Ozuna, Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, on behalf of our Sheriff, Eddie Guerra, under 11A, requesting authorization and approval to accept the FY 2016 STEP, which is the Impaired Driving Mobilization Grant, in the amount of $32,741.52.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under number 2 is authorization to delegate our Sheriff Guerra as the authorized official to sign the grant agreement.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under number 3 is authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Number 4 is the approval of certification of revenues as certified by our county auditor for the FY 2016 STEP Impaired Driving Mobilization Grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 5 is approval to appropriate the budget for the FY 2016 STEP Impaired Driving Mobilization Grant under the amount of $32,741.52.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Under item B, under our SCAP, State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, number 1 is authorization to approve certification of revenues for the SCAP 2015.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Under number 2 is authorization and approval for the appropriation of the funds under the SCAP 2015 in the amount of $34,934.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C, under number 1 is approval of the agreements for our shooting range use and training between the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office and under A is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and B, the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And number 2 is authorization for our county judge as the authorized official and our county sheriff to sign both documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
That's all we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Commissioners, the next item is the presentation of the first quarter delinquent tax collection report. This is from July 1st, 2015 to September 30th.
Good morning, Commissioners,
Good morning.
and thank you for allowing us to report for the first full 3 months that the Linebarger, Gogan, Blair, Sampson law firm has had 100% of the tax collection responsibility for the county. You'll turn to our first summary page. I know we're having trouble with the communication here in the clicker. Next. You'll see we've got a summary here. We had 3 mailings in those 3 months involving over 72,000 statements sent to taxpayers who are a little behind on their taxes. These mailings encompassed $12.1 million in delinquent taxes owed to the county. We had over 15,000 telephone contacts with taxpayers throughout the county. We attended a little over 2,300 walk-ins at our 4 countywide locations. We conducted 2016 property inspections and handled 720 payoff requests on delinquent accounts. In terms of litigation, we entered into or intervened in 374 new cases involving close to $700,000 in delinquent taxes. We requested 30 tax warrants on businesses that we felt were a flight risk involving a little over $51,000. We disposed of 79 suits worth a little over $100,000, and we obtained judgments in 114 cases worth $140,000. Now, pending litigation, since we just took over in July, there were already over 3,600 cases pending where Hidalgo County was either a plaintiff or an intervener along with other taxing entities, involving over $4.1 million in delinquency. We have substituted in as counsel in the majority of these cases, and by the end of fiscal 2015, or by the end of December 2015, we should be on board. It takes time for the courts to make these substitutions, and as you can tell, it's close to 3,700 cases. Next. Gustavo Martinez is going to give a report on tax sales, and he can handle details here, but what you will notice is in July and August of 2015, we conducted 2 tax sales for the county. 35 of those properties were struck off, which means that they go to one of the taxing entities in trust because the minimum bid of either the taxes owed or the appraised value of the property was not met. They will be offered for resale within a few months, and the court will probably authorize us to take bids for a lower amount. Eventually, we'll get these properties back on the tax roll to start generating taxes. 21 properties were sold, and involving about $73,000. And Mr. Martinez, following my presentation, will be able to give you the details on what the county receives. Next, please. All right, you'll see that over these 3 months, we collected just under $4 million in base tax only. This doesn't include penalties. And you'll see that even though the delinquent tax roll balance is about $2 million less than it was this time last year, we were able to collect a greater number of dollars for the county. So we're very happy that we exceeded last year's pace for the first 3 months. Next page, please. This time last year, the county had collected a little over 12% of the delinquent tax roll. At this point, we're at 12.69%, which is a 0.6% increase. So we're doing our best to outpace last year's performance. And again, this is significant because you handed us less to collect this year, July 1st, than what the county had the prior year. Next page, please. I'll go through this quickly. In October and November, we have executed 2 mailings. We released a special mailing this month on litigation accounts, targeting those accounts that owed the county, that were owing accounts of up to $1,000. Less than $1,000. That's what we're working on right now. Personal contacts, we continue to actively pursue phone collections, litigation. We're substituting in those cases that the county had another counsel for, and we're going to continue to attack those years with the highest delinquency. Next page, please. We'll continue to take judgments in cases, and we've got a tax sale and resale, which is scheduled for December 1st. We just conducted one November 3rd. In terms of community outreach, we participated in the school supply drive. Our attorneys and employees had the privilege of donating more than 225 backpacks to school districts in the Valley for the 2015-16 year. And for the first time, in conjunction with the Hidalgo County Tax Office and the Hidalgo County Appraisal District, we're offering a series of educational presentations about property taxes to the public. These presentations are taking place in each precinct and have taken place in each precinct once per quarter. In June, the members of the community attended a 3rd presentation in Precinct 1, and in October, the final presentation in 2015 took place in Precinct 4 at Edinburgh City Hall. This, again, is our commitment to reaching out to the community to answer questions and address issues with
If I may comment
taxes.
to that, and I
Yes,
don't
sir.
mean to interrupt you, John, but that was an impeccable effort on your all's behalf. I know that there were taxpayers there at the one that I attended in Edinburgh, and I think I encourage y'all to continue those efforts because it really, I think it makes a difference for those people who have a clear understanding of how things work.
Thank you, Commissioner. And we are committed to doing that. And finally, we'll close with just reminding the public that we have 4 locations throughout the county. Our main office, the heart and brain of our operation, is at 2005 South Pin Oak in Edinburgh, Texas. For people watching this presentation, that's right behind the Whataburger on 107. In Precinct 3, we're located at 1518 North Conway for taxpayers and constituents in the western part of the county. Precinct 2, 400 North McCall Road, so people in the Far McAllen area can have their tax issues addressed at 400 North McCall. And in Precinct 1, 708 East Edinburgh Avenue, Suite B in Elsa, which I think is where the county has a tax office satellite. So we thank you for your trust, and we look forward to continuing this relationship. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. To add what Mr. Franz just reported, we go to 12B1, discussion action on tax resale bids received on properties. We did have a resale November 3rd. We have about 9 or 10 tax sale resales per year, almost one every month. The one we had on November 3rd had us place 78 properties throughout the county. We got bids on 70. If approved, it will generate about $165,000 for the county and put about $2 million back on the tax roll.
Move for approval.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, sir. 12B2, discussion action on order for tax resale bid properties. It's a resolution order needed to approve these bids.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very kindly, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioners, there's no action under 13A1 and 13B1.
Thank you. Number 14, Emergency Management. Chief.
Good morning, Commissioners. I hope the judge is doing well. I come before you to discuss the necessary action of the proclamation to terminate the order of continuance to the local state of disaster for the County of Hidalgo due to the torrential rain event from October 24th, which caused severe damage and flooding of the property.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item number 2, presentation, discuss and authorize the county judge to sign the required documents.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. CSA, Jaime.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jaime Lugari with Community Service Agency. Item 15A, presentation and approval of the program year 2016 needs assessment, strategic plan, and cap plan. Commissioners, I'm going to beg for your apology. I'm going to give you some apologies here before we start. I will tell you that the community needs assessment, the first document that you have in front of you, it's the one with a picture of the family in front. Of the 3 documents, that's probably the most important document. The community needs assessment is undertaken once every 3 years by the community service agencies throughout the state of Texas, and it is the document that drives everything that we do. And this year, what we were asked to do was to put together a needs assessment, probably in about a month and a half's time. We put it together. I feel that it's a very good document. It lays out pretty much the plan of work for the next 1 year. The reason I say 1 year, they're usually done for 3 years, but I've asked the state to allow us to do one for just 1 year, and then we intend to advertise to look for maybe a university or maybe a nonprofit group that would come in and assist us in doing the needs assessment. What the needs assessment does is it queries the community about what are the particular needs with regard to community services in the County of Hidalgo. The survey results came back. We actually surveyed some of you elected officials. We surveyed our board members. We surveyed nonprofits. We surveyed the residents. We did well over 800 surveys altogether. We compiled all of the data. We crunched the data. We compared that data with known data from the Texas Workforce Commission, the U.S. Census Bureau, the Bureau of Statistics with the Texas Education Agency, just various different entities. The results are we identified 5 priority needs, and if you look on page, actually they turned out to be more than 5, but if you look on page, I think it's page, give me just a second, it's page 12 of the Community Needs Assessment. It details the priority needs for the Community Service Agency. It starts off with increased collaboration between nonprofits. It talks about vulnerable populations, what we need to do for the elderly and helping them to avoid fraud abuse and elder abuse. It talks about the vulnerability of single-family households. It talks about the vulnerability of our veterans population as they return home from serving our nation. It also talks about the need for financial literacy courses and just literacy in general in Hidalgo County. And it also cites the need for minimum housing standards. We do have a significant population of folks who are living without plumbing in Hidalgo County, according to our surveys. What I'm going to ask for you all to do today is to approve the report for this 1 year, and to allow us the opportunity to go forward using this report for 1 year as we procure the services of either an economics firm or a university to do this to assist us.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
The second installment that you have in front, the second document that you have in front of you is actually the strategic plan. The strategic plan takes those areas that I just detailed, those priority areas, and develops through a process of SWOT analysis the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats facing our agency. It also has us do some self-assessments internally to find out what our agency is capable of. And then as a result of those 2 analyses, then it asks us to develop some actionable goals. We developed a list of 13 actionable goals, and those are detailed starting, actually they're not numbered, but towards the back, you'll see them in boxes. It's goal number 1 through goal number 13. I won't list them all in the interest of time, but I will tell you they tie directly back to the 8 priority areas that I just detailed.
You need approval for that?
Yes, I need approval for that.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The final document is the program year 2016 Community Action Plan. This also works in concert with the other two documents. What this is a nuts and bolts plan as to how we intend to meet those 13 goals that in turn address those 8 actionable areas. I will say that the advisory committee will meet on Friday, and we'll also go over all of these 3 plans to ensure that they're compatible with each other and they speak to the priorities that we have.
Jaime, before you walk out, I want to commend you on the work that you've done with your staff. I've went there a couple of times, and I think you're doing an impeccable job.
Thank you so much. The staff is very dedicated to what we do, and we're really excited about what we do. We enjoy that.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I do need approval on the community.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. The next item is item 15B, approval of the amendment to the license agreement between the County of Hidalgo and Shaw Software Incorporated. If you remember, a few weeks ago, we did bring a contract between Shaw Software and Hidalgo County. Allows us to use our software. There is a few little details that were left out that were really the state required us to put in. The DA's office, with the work of Josie's civil department, asked us, provided the amendment for us, and they've actually drawn it up and sent it off, and we've got it signed. So I need approval on the amendment.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you so much, Commissioners. Oh, just one last item, if I may. Friday at 1:30, we were notified by the direct energy companies, by CPL Retail and all of their affiliates. I think there's 8 affiliates that fall under direct energy. They've, in the past, they've given us a total of $80,000 to provide utility assistance to their customers who don't qualify for our program for one reason or another. So this year they've given us the $80,000, and because we went through that money so quickly, they've actually come back and given us an additional $10,000. So they'll be here Friday at 1:30 at CSA to give us the check for the $50,000, the second installment of the night. So I'd like to see you all there if you can. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Number 16, Elections Administration.
No action, Commissioner.
17, Precinct 2.
No action.
Don't forget you're next.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item 17A, requesting approval of memorandum of understanding between the County of Hidalgo, McAllen Career Institutes, and Motivation Education and Training, Inc. to provide vocational training for welding classes at the Precinct 2 Alamo Community Resource Center.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. 18, Precinct 3, Commissioner Flores. Mingo.
Yes, Commissioner Cantu, Mrs. Anderson, I spoke to her. She had public comments on we took care of it yesterday. We sent it back home, and we took care of everything there. I just want the people out there to know that Precinct 3 takes care of his, problems. Okay.
Is
Thank you.
the
Let's
elderly
go.
man?
18. 18A, requesting approval of interlocal cooperation agreement between the City of Palmview and County of Hidalgo for road improvement project Champion Lane.
Move for approval.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Approval of interlocal agreement project in accordance with Texas Government Code 79.1.014 to overlay Champion Lane in the City of Palmview.
Move for approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B, requesting approval of First Amendment to interlocal agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of Alton concerning certain improvements to FM 676, that's mile 5, from SH 107 Conway to Taylor Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
C, requesting approval to name road located at 5.5 miles north FM 492 as Vera Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
911 been notified, Mingo?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mingo. Budget and Management, number 19. Sergio.
Morning, Commissioners. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 19A is approval of 2015 interfund transfer from countywide contingency to the Precinct 4 Rio Grande Care Road project in the amount of $245,000.
approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19B, 1 through 5. Steve, can I take those together? These are all just agreements for the electricity providers for the Colorado Life program.
Yes.
Requesting approval of those 5 items.
Move for approval of B1 through 5.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On those 2 colonias on our precinct, most of the poles are up and everything, right?
Yes. I think there was only one colonia that had, Rick, can you?
Goalie, I
One
think.
colonia that had, I think, 3 poles that need to be up?
Correct. Commissioner, in Precinct 3, your subdivisions do have the correct infrastructure. We are requesting that AEP go in there and install the street lights on the existing poles.
Yeah.
Same thing with Precinct 4. In Precinct 1 and Precinct 2, we are requesting through this agreement for them to install the correct arms and lights. The lights are not at the correct lumens, and they're making those adjustments.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for all your work on this.
Thank you. And I believe Ms. Linda has a concern.
Yeah, we had some concerns on this. First of all, there was no legal review attached, and I just spoke with legal counsel, and he hasn't finished reviewing them. So if you could make that approval subject to legal review. And another thing, 2 of the agreements contained a rate schedule that had differing light posts than the actual agreement itself. So I'm not sure if those needed to be revised.
Yes, we had a representative from Magic Valley that was scheduled to be here today. Basically, she will be waiving, Magic Valley will be waiving some of the membership fees, not all of them. So we will be having revised agreements.
So I don't know
Then
if maybe you want to.
I want to go back and ask the court to rescind the last action. Let's approve the ones that are subject to legal review and take the other ones, not approve the ones where there's changes to the agreement.
Okay, number 3 and number 5 are where there would be some changes. So maybe on those you don't approve until they're correct.
Move to rescind items 1 through 5.
I rescind my second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries to rescind.
Move for approval of B1, 2,
And
4.
Subject to legal.
Subject to legal review.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and then on 1 and 5?
3 and 5.
On 3 and 5, no action.
3 we'll bring back then. First.
Okay.
And also, I know we didn't put it on the letter of concerns, but the county auditor had also I guess he just wanted legal to ensure that these posts that are going to be installed are going to be on county roads in those subdivisions. They are county roads. He wanted that confirmation.
On the right of way, it's not inside the property, right, Steve?
It should be on the right of way.
It's in the right of way.
Of a county road.
It should be.
Okay, has somebody confirmed that?
We verified that with the planning department, and these subdivisions are on county properties, county areas. They're not
But the
within city
post
limits.
should be on. But the post should be on the right of way.
Yes, sir. They're not on private property.
Thank you.
Yeah, because when the subdivision is done, the one that would know is planning.
Yeah.
Where those, if it's a easement or a right of way.
Thank you.
Plus, if they weren't in county roads, we wouldn't have this problem. We'd have regular lighting. But anyway, 19C, Sergio.
19C, a discussion, consideration, and approval to submit the Texas Vine reimbursement maintenance invoice in the amount of $6,928.83, and the Texas statewide automated victim notification systems, county verification of continuing production record with authority for the county judge to sign the required documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. 20, purchasing, Marty.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Martha Salazar for Purchasing Department. Go to 20A1A, requesting approval to declare the items listed in Exhibit A, which include office furniture, equipment, and vehicles as surplus for the purpose of sale through auction, scheduled for December the 9th, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code 263-152.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
And in the event no bids are received, B is pursuant to Texas Government Code 263-151A and under 263-152A3, Commissioners Court proceed to order any of the property be destroyed or otherwise disposed of as worthless, inasmuch as the sale of said items that Commissioners Court undertook to sell had no bids.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Going on to item 2, C, pardon me, requesting authority to publish the advertising for that auction.
Move for approval.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is presentation of the sole responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best responsible bid with the details as attached here too for award and approval of a contract. This was for concrete mix delivery or pickup services. There were 8 packets requested and distributed, 1 response, which was CMEX. This would be what we're recommending, commencing December the 6th, 2015.
Second.
Any concerns with those guys, with Cimex? No? All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item B, Precinct 1, this is pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 263-151-2BCD, 263-152A2, action to declare surplus 1 GMC 8500 and 1 2004 Freightliner grapple trucks as surplus detailed and described herein for the purpose of disposition of the 2 units to be used as trade-ins.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, approval of a governmental equipment lease purchase agreement number 274-6981 between Holt Cat Truck Center through the Board Contract 430-13 Caterpillar Financial Services Corporation and Hidalgo County for the lease purchase of 2 CT660S trucks for Precinct 1 sanitation with the authority for the county judge to sign all related documents for financing purposes. There were 2 concerns. One was that the value was more than the trade-in. We have submitted the correct value. We have a residual value of $7,400. We're getting trade-in of $19,000. There is an amortization schedule on the lease purchase that is still to be submitted to the auditor, but I ask that it be approved subject to that.
A dollar buyout, or what is it?
The lease purchase?
Yeah.
This is a trade-in for the lease.
No, but I'm talking about when
At the end of the lease.
Oh, at the end of the lease?
Yeah.
I believe it does have it embedded. I'm not quite sure.
There's a lot of them that are a $1 payout, so.
Right. I don't believe this is the case.
So they're going to take them back after the lease?
They can take them back after the lease.
But it'd be better if
You can, or you can buy them for a percentage.
Right.
Residual, yeah.
The amortization will be submitted to the auditor's office.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On Precinct 2, C1, requesting approval of a professional appraisal services agreement with Leonel Garza Jr. and Associates for the purpose of services for all of the different services that are noted on the agenda on an as-needed basis. They were selected for negotiations and ranked on October 13th.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For D1, Precinct 3, acceptance and approval to execute the final form of professional engineering agreement with L&G Consulting Engineers, Incorporated, DBA, L&G Engineering for Veterans Boulevard.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B is acceptance and approval of work authorization 1 with the estimated cost of $843,140 as submitted by project engineer L&G for the environmental assessment, public involvement, schematic and hydrologic design for Veterans Boulevard. There were some concerns on the agenda. Those have been submitted for the auditor's review.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 would be acceptance and approval of work authorization 3, estimated cost of $1,797,300 for engineering services required for the preparation of the PS&E ROW mapping field surveying and ROW acquisitions for the same project, which is Liberty Road.
Yeah.
You have a motion and a second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
There was a concern yesterday. We have also taken care of that with the auditor. Item E for WIC, presentation of the bids received for the purpose of award and approval of contract. This is for the medical supplies. We had 21 packets requested and distributed. 5 bids were received. The vendor that is being recommended by both purchasing and concurred to by WIC is AOSS Medical Supply Incorporated with an effective date of 11/17 today
Move for
on the
approval.
contract.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
Under F1, this is under budget management. A, presentation of the scoring grid below for the purposes of ranking. This is for consulting services for the self-funded group health insurance for Hidalgo County employees. We had 5. Alamo Insurance scored an average of 96.4. Crystal and Company 89.0. Jaime Solis Consulting 27.2. Valley Risk Consulting 75.2. And Walker and Associates 86.8. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Requesting authority purchasing to enter into negotiations with the, commencing with the number one ranked proposer of Alamo Insurance Group.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For the Sheriff's Office, we go to 20G1, approval of the construction change directive number 2, reviewed and concurred by construction manager in the amount of $25,917.75. This was submitted by Chanine Engineering, and to give the contractor Central Air Heating Service the notice to proceed in the amount of $25,917.75.
Move for approval.
We have a motion. And we have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is approval of the change order number 1 in connection with the Adult Detention Law Enforcement Facility repairs and replacement to credit the amount of $27,000 from contracted vendor, which is Central Air Heating, as recommended by project engineer Chanine Engineering.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2, presentation of the bids received for the purposes of award and approval of contract. This is for radiological, diagnostic, and related mobile services. 4 packets were requested. 2 bids were received, and we're asking for approval of the recommended vendor effective 1/1/16.
Move for approval.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 3, approval to purchase 1 new 2016 Ford Explorer base for FWD through the county's membership. That's through a co-op, Caldwell Country Chevrolet, 43013, contract number. Amount is $26,289, which includes the one-time admin fee of $400 and delivery.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
H1 countywide, this is our annual request to advertise an approval of qualifications, requirements, scopes of services for all of the pools listed, A through F, and for selection on the protocol that the county has established. This would be effective March 16th of next year.
Move for approval on H1, A, B, C, D, E, F.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Mondo, we're going to go back to that?
Yes.
If we could go back to item
It's
19B,
19B,
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Yes, sir, Commissioner. I would ask.
Just for the record, those 2 items were tabled.
Yes, I would ask that we. There was no action taken on them. I would ask that we approve those subject to contract amendment. There was a minor typographical error on the contract, which was already identified by Mr. Ray Salazar at the budget office. I just think that, having to wait till our December 1st meeting is really going to push things back. We've had, several folks. We have over 100 signatures from individuals in these colonias that are ready for these lights.
Steve, is that okay?
Is that okay?
Like I said, I have not reviewed any of these documents.
Subject to
Subject to
legal.
review, subject to legal.
We have 3 out there that are already subject to legal. I don't see why we should take no action on 2 out of 5.
I was just having to do this without seeing the document, so.
But we approved the other 3 subject to
Commissioners,
legal.
if I may.
You see in the documents.
Well, I don't think I'll be seeing them.
What is that?
I think the DA's office.
Oh, okay.
We have already started reviewing the documents. These were nominal changes that needed to be made.
Are we okay with subject to?
We've passed these type of agreements in the past with AP and Magic Valley, so I don't think there should be any problem. We
There
might even
shouldn't be a problem.
So that's your recommendation to approve it?
Move for approval.
Subject to, for those
Subject
2
to
items,
legal.
subject to final legal approval.
Second.
So we got a motion subject to legal for items 3 and 5. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have executive session items?
You do,
One item.
at least one.
Okay, Steve, take me through that process. We'll go into executive session. I just read it out, Steve?
Just read out the first part with the sections listed.
We're going to go into executive session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Sections 551.071 and .072.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We'll be back. We didn't go into executive session, but we're going to come back. We didn't go into executive session, so.
When's the next meeting?
Commissioner.
December 1st is the next meeting, but Commissioners, I'm going to ask just for clarification, we need to go back to item under the street lighting project, 19B.
Correct.
3 and 5.
Commissioner, just for the record, item number 3C is for the installation of, in total, 8 subdivision streetlights, and number 5, letter E, is for the installation of 30 streetlights. Just for the record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we get a motion to
move to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.